Hello. Welcome, gamers. It is, in fact, Monday. Over here, it's Chips. That's right, Chips. And Tunes. Chips and Tunes. Chiptunes. Look at this bridge. Where is this bridge, you might ask? Good question. Good question. We'll find out. Find out right now. Or maybe we won't. Maybe oh, it says Brooklyn. It's literally the Brooklyn Bridge. I knew this. I was like, this looks like the Brooklyn Bridge, but I could not confirm. There it is. There it is. Anyway. Thank you, Vacuously, for the raid. I was not online, but I was there to shout it out. I will greet everyone, even from the raid. Welcome, Stream Elements. Welcome, Wolfes. Welcome to Schwan, Stream Element, Rust, Arumia, Spiked Rose, Vacuously, Zuja, Lots of Butts, Puerto Rico, Chunmaru, Puerto Rico. Wait, I greet you twice. Oh no. Teeny, X-Tag, and I'm scrolling. Stanley, Tub of Insects, JD, Yuko, and Lunatic Lurker, and Carp, and Big Ham, and Panis. Is Brooklyn England or America? It is the United States of America. It's actually in New York. Little did you know, it's actually New York. Anyway. We're gonna do some more music stuff today, I guess. But before I do that, though, there's my game is almost done. This weekend I've been working on promotional material, so you know, screenshots, promotional video, all that stuff. Welcome, Nutritious, and I will show you. I will show you the promotional video for my video game, which will be, where is it? This one. What is this media player? Whoa, look. It's got everything. It's got colors, it's got the markings, it's got a level select, it's got music. You can mark off the things. You can go fast. You can reveal an axe. That's right, spoilers for level 98. It's an axe. Color scheme. It's an axe. 4 levels. You can save your data. That's right, you can turn off your Game Boy now. You can turn off your Game Boy. Got a logo. Anyway, I'm gonna play it again. Play it again. Mark it. That's right, marking off numbers yourself. None of this auto marking off stuff. Only manual. Welcome, Resetter. See, what is the volume? Oh, because the volume's low because I set it low. There it is. Amazing. And then look, it's not even all because I have the itch.io page that I've been adding information to. After this is done, I will show it to you. Save. Okay, there it is. Look at that, it fades out smoothly. It fades out smoothly. It would not do that on a real Game Boy. The Game Boy cannot fade out that smoothly. Let's see. Let me find the itch.io page. It's not up yet, but it is privately visible to me. To me specifically. I still have to make like the Game Boy box art or whatever. But here it is. Wolfie's Nonograms. We got fancy looking background. Look at this. It's themed as if you were playing the game. It's got stuff on the left. You can run the game in your browser. Wow. Whoa. You can change the colors in your browser. Change the music. Go here. Then we got screenshots. These are the screenshots that you might recognize from the video you just watched. We have description. I some emulators that you could play this on. You can play it in the browser. Got puzzles, you got songs. I credit people. Look at the credit the person who made this music. So you can check that I asked for permission to use these songs. And I will let them know. I will post in this thread. They'll be like, whoa, what, you used my music in your game? Yes. And then this stuff. Mark numbers, clues. You could use the D-pad, keyboard controls. And look at this. Whoa, we got some people that are in the chat right now. That's right, this person. We got people who made the music. We got the licenses are named Creative Commons 4.0. Shout out to Creative Commons 4.0. We got the condensed pixel font set. That's right. And special thanks to Niffin Notogram Maker. That's right, that guy right there. And look at this, you can download now. It's free, or you can give money if you want, but it's free. And we have version... When I fully release this, it'll be version 1. But for testing, I've released version 001. But I will probably post like a link to this in the Discord for initial testing. Because like, what if I release it and then it's like, oh no, Wolfie, there's like a huge bug or something. So it's up to you, okay? Once this is public, we'll know. But look forward to that, maybe even today. Possibly even later today. And then I'll post it on Twitter. Possibly even other websites, such as Reddit, that's a thing. The picross Reddit, maybe the Game Boy Reddit, I don't know. I could give it a whirl, my Game Boy or Game Boy Advance. Yes, you should do that. I would like some testing on, like, you know, if you have a real Game Boy with a real flash cart, I would like to confirm whether it actually works well. Because it works in the emulators, but it doesn't work in some emulators. Some badly implemented emulators, it does not work that well, but it works on all the ones that people usually use. So hopefully also flash cart. You have the hardware, okay, that's good, that's good. So we need confirmation. Specifically, I would like to confirm the save data. You can save and turn off your Game Boy and come back to it. That should work. Welcome SimmerQ. Need to get an EverDrive. Welcome Moo as well. But yeah. Anyway, box art though. You know, the usual Game Boy box art. Gotta draw something. Draw something. I can't just use art from the game, because usually box art is not just the pixels from the game. I got like custom art. I was like, what if I drew something like this? What if I drew classic Western style art like this? Probably not. But I will draw something. Explosions. I'm going to make him angry. It's going to be like, you know, Kirby in the American box art is always angry. What if I make myself angry? Welcome Hemp. I probably won't, but it would be funny. Yeah, look at this Mario. Oh shoot, I have to make like a back of the box art. I don't have to. I guess I don't have to. It's not required to make the back of the box. That'll be there, right? And then you could play it. You'll be like, wow. It sure is a game. That sure is a game. Let's watch it again, guys. Everyone. Here it is. I had to learn how to like upscale pixel art in DaVinci Resolve, because like I recorded this at the original Game Boy resolution, which as you all know is like 160 by 144 pixels, and that is not a good viewing experience. So I had to like, it's like import it. I had to like, they don't have like a built-in thing for like nearest neighbor scaling, so you have to like add like a fusion node. I had to learn what a fusion node was. It was interesting. But I got to work. You know, this is upscaled by 8 times, so that it's actually not a tiny video. If you draw the sides as well, you could print and fold a box yourself. I could, but I won't. But you know, there are websites that will sell physical Game Boy games for you. What was the website called? It was like Homebrew Factory. If I wanted to sell them, if I wanted to sell physical cartridges, I could do so via this website. The question is whether I actually want to. I was like, I don't really have to invest anything. You know, you just put it up and then people say, I'm gonna buy it. And then they prepay for it. And then they make the cartridges. But then I'm like, do I want to? Or what if I make like a second game and then I release them both? I could have like a collection of Wolfie's Nonograms 1 and 2. If I ever make a second one, I don't know. It shouldn't be that hard, right? You just reuse the same engine, just add new levels. I don't know. It's possible. And then, like, if you were to release stuff for this, you would need to design the box art. Presumably you have to like add the back of the box art. You have to add like an instruction manual. It's like a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff to add. Or maybe you don't have to. But you could. You could. Okay, they have critically acclaimed games such as Rubber Ducky, Bath Time Fun. Wow. That's right, your own Game Boy games. Anyway, but that's, you know, that's preview. It's preview of what's coming up. And then it's like, what's after this? Wolfie, what are you doing after this? I don't know. Some kind of other game, perhaps, if I have an idea. I feel like my voice is like not so good today. Just something about it sounds different. Oh, what did the background change? What is this? Italy? Mangart Mountain? Seen from Fucine Lakes, Italy. But anyway, we're gonna do music, okay? Enough of that Game Boy stuff. Now we're doing this Game Boy stuff. So if you remember last time I streamed this, we were transcribing the... Oh, my controller does not work anymore. We were transcribing the Little Root Town theme from Pokemon. And I did get that to work. And I also off-stream transcribed the bass section, the ostinatos. I think I have to like reconfigure my controller. Options... Game controller, okay, this, and that, and this, and that. Okay, is this the same? Word save song. This is an empty song. Wait, what song is this? Why did this open Steam? Select start. Do I need to like close Steam? Hold on, let me close Steam. Sometimes Steam hijacks your controller. No. Didn't I change this last time? Let's see, let's undo this stuff. Select start is not working. Guys, it's literally not working even though I just configured my controller. What if I did it again? Welcome, Metal Suck Attack. Hope you're doing well on this Monday. Okay, what about now? What if this works now? It doesn't. I literally pressed the buttons. Oh. What is this song? When did I make this song? Oh, I made this? Okay, this was an in-progress game. And by game, I mean song. Let's save this temporarily. Okay, let's go back to Little Root. Wow. We transcribed this stuff. Here it is. Here's all the notes. We got the bass, we got the main melody, we got this stuff. I was like analyzing how they did the notes. I added some vibrato as well. Look at that, for the long notes there's some vibrato. And this. And then we have the second channel. Sometimes it doesn't sound good, which makes me think maybe I like put some of the notes wrong. It could just be like that it just sounds bad when you play multiple notes at the same time. I don't know. Anyway, what are we doing today though? Am I making a new song? I guess I will. I guess I will make a new song. What's the part that sounds bad? Sometimes when you have two notes playing together. Let's see. Let's see if I can find a specific part. This note specifically. Or maybe it's fine. Maybe it's actually fine. I don't know if this was actually what it was in the sheet music. Why is it G sharp? Hold on. Is there a G sharp? It's F, G, F sharp, so it makes sense. Oh. Okay, well maybe it's fine. But I think maybe also some of the ostinatos I might have transcribed incorrectly. Maybe it's fine. Like this one. Okay, this one. Something about this sounds weird. This AE sounds weird, but I mean, I guess these are notes that they normally use. This E doesn't sound like it should be there, right? It seems, but it does. It is there though, because this E. So when I was analyzing the way they did these ostinatos, I noted that they would repeat one note here, 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 and here. And then the other notes that are around it are kind of like ascending. So this one, A2, and it goes up to A3, and then it goes up to C4, and then it goes back down to A3. So when I was making ostinatos for my own songs, I tried doing a similar thing. But it's not always this, right? Sometimes they switch it up. F sharp, G sharp has a minor sound in it, which is definitely going to sound weird. Maybe it was intentional. Maybe they know what they're doing. Got C, all the letter C's over here. Try fixing the F sharp to just F. Okay, let's see. Which one? Oh, in the main melody. Where was it? I kind of wish they made it easier to like switch between like if you're at the end of a chain to go like to the next one, because if you go here you can't go up to the previous one. You can only go down. But let's see. Change the F sharp. Which one of these is the F sharp? There was no F sharp. Wait a second. Where was it? Was I hallucinating? It was, but I don't see it. Maybe it was in a previous one. Right there. Oh, did I miss it? Phrase keep track of the phrase. Oh, it was right there. Whatever just played right there. No, that's a different thing. Alright, do you see it? I'm not seeing it. I see some A sharps, some G sharps. Or do you mean G? Do you mean to switch the G sharp? The thing on the right side? Which one? Oh, you're looking at, oh, this. You're looking at that. I don't see it. Maybe we were hallucinating. Anyway, enough of this. New song. It's time for a new song, okay? New song. It keeps happening. Am I losing my mind? But I've scrolled through all of them. It could be that it's on F and then very quickly it goes to another thing that has a sharp. Because like we would have seen it, right? I've been scrolling through all of these. F sharp. It's not there. It's not even real, guys. Anyway, enough of this. Next song. New song. Load. New song. Okay, so how do I make this sound good? So I've started some music. Maybe I should just start a new song from scratch. You could tell this was very much inspired by Little Root Town based on how the ostinatos are going. So you got here you got the C, you got the other C, continue with C, and then next you switch the note that's here is G. But I know it doesn't sound as good. Something about this. Something about this one doesn't sound as good. But maybe I start with a new song. Let's make a new one. Load. All right. So let's start off with like a chord progression as an ostinato. Let's do like several of these. So I'm going to copy the way that they did. Okay, we're gonna choose a chord, or just choose a good chord progression. Good chord progressions. I've searched this many times. I've remembered 1564 is one of them. 1564, classic year. It's literally that easy. 27 best chord progressions. Beautiful chord progressions. You should know. That's right. You, the viewer, you should know this. Anyone have a favorite chord progression? You're like, I love this one. This one, that's the best one. And don't you suggest Royal Road. That's too much. I've tried that. It's too much for me. Best chord progression. What if I just make one up? So I've learned something about cadences. You want to have like one as the first one and the last one. Wish I knew more about music theory to recommend them. You just, some songs, classic songs, and then we can look up the chord progressions. A harmonious balance, providing a unique, soothing, melodic landscape. 1, 3, 4, 6. It goes back from Beethoven to Mozart. Cornerstone of jazz, 2, 5, 1. 251. 154. Sorry, that's not a 4, that's a 6. 1564. I guess maybe we'll just try like, let's try this one. Isn't like 1-3 kind of a weak one though? I feel like I tried like doing Wonderwall, and I think they also do like 1-3 something. Wonderwall. And I was like not a big fan of this one. That was E. What is this? Key of F major? No, I want to know the Roman numerals. Chords. I don't want to have to think. Just tell me the numbers. Is it this one? Is this the one? No. I don't want to think. Man, you know what? Never mind. Let's just try this. So we got 1. So as you all know, let's set our BPM first. What's a good BPM? Anyone have a favorite BPM? Let me look at my spreadsheet. My music theory. Chiptune, I have a doc on chiptunes. So BPMs that are well supported by the Game Boy without additional trickery. 96 BPM, 107 BPM. Let's do 107 BPM. And then do this. Okay, so we start off in 1. So as you all know, the notes that are in the 1, we're going to do C major because I'm a noob and don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to do C. We're going to have C as the note that repeats here. Okay, and then the other notes that are in the 1 chord are, we got 1, the third one is E, C, E, G. You want to do maybe start from E from the previous octave, and then go up to G, and then go up to E in the next octave, and then go back to G. What does this sound like? Okay, so that's something. And then the next one we go to 3, so chord 3. So 3, as you know, in C major, it's actually E. E is the root of the chord, as you go C, D, E. So maybe we do this. Well, how do you choose though? Do I actually want C as the note that repeats? I don't know. Anyway, we know from here, we know G, so let's go from perhaps, so the notes that are in chord 3, it's E, G, and B. So maybe we go to B. Let's go to B, B1, 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 and then G. And then B2, and then G. So we have this. Alright, well that's something. And then the next one. Next we got chord 4. As you all know, the root of the 4th chord is F. So let's do F. We have F here. And then the notes that are in F, the F chord, it is A and C. So let's do A and then C and then A going up and then C from here. So we have this. Okay, and then we got chord 6. As you all know, the sixth chord gotta be B, right? That's B. Is that B? Or no, that's A. Is that A? I know the seventh is the one right before C, so that's B. So this has got to be A, right? I can just count. Hold on. I got C, D, E, F, G, A. Yes, so it should be A. We got A2, perhaps. A2. And then the notes are going to be C and E. So we have C in the previous octave, and then it goes up to E. Oops. E. Welcome hand below A2. What? C3. Alright, so now we have this. And then it just loops. It loops around. How's that for an ostinato? Alright, then we're going to add our main melody. Now we don't have to always just have one bar per chord, because that gets kind of predictable, kind of boring. But I'm going to start off with this because I don't know what I'm doing. I have not really made good music yet. So really, you're like, Wolfie, why don't you do something not in C major? Because I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so you start off, you're in the one chord. So you want to perhaps start off, you don't even need to start at the beginning. You could start right here. You're going to go to C5 maybe. And then what? And then you got C5. I'm also going to adjust the instrument. I'm going to stretch it out to be the maximum length. Maybe I shouldn't do that at the beginning. Maybe at the very beginning, I should not stretch it out this far. Okay, so let's see. So C. And then maybe we just decide on a rhythm to begin with. So maybe we go this. Got some eighth notes in there. And then maybe like an offbeat note over there. And then next we got maybe, let's see, so we're there. Maybe now we have one that's like, oh, do I want to start another one on this one? Maybe because like, you got to repeat, right? You got to have like a similar thing from the first phrase to the second one. So maybe the second one will have the same rhythm. And then the next one is when you switch it up. Okay, so the next one, instead of having this one, you could have it start like here. And maybe have like 2 of these. And then, but you want some stuff to still be recognizable. So you got like, maybe like one of these here. Okay, now you choose the notes, okay? Choose the notes based on the chord. So if we're going to be in chord 1, you ideally want C, E, G. Offbeat note, on tempo, syncopation, wires. This guy knows music. This guy is too familiar with music. We gotta stop him. Maybe you go up to E. And then you go down. You go down to D. Right, so you're like, but Wolfie, D isn't one of the main notes of the chord. Well, if you have a phrase ending on something that is not a main note in the chord, it's like question and answer. This would be a question. If I left it like this, that's an answer. So maybe you leave it with a question, and then the next one, the next phrase, either can continue questioning or it could resolve the question. Really makes you think. Really causes you to consider. Welcome, Zia. Where were you when I invented music? You're watching this stream right now. Alright, now in this phrase we are on chord 3. So as you all know, chord 3 starts with an E, which is actually good because we go here from D and now we're on E. So it's a stepwise motion. So we have the same rhythm. We could have these have the same intervals as well, if I really wanted to. You could have E, it could go up. Maybe now it goes down. Maybe it goes down to C. Listen to this. Okay, now we need to add another. That's something, right? We got music. Wow, that already sounds like something. That's music. Alright, now we're in chord 4. Okay, chord 4. As you all know, the notes are these ones right here. You got coffee, we got a CF. Alright, so from this one, what do we do here? So we can go. So we ended this one on C. Maybe since C is also part of this chord. Discord, wait, that's the website. You guys see that Discord is like making age verification a thing by default? It's gonna treat everyone as a teenager unless you like scan your face. Why would they do that? Are you gonna do it? I'm not gonna do it. Like, am I really in any servers where I need to be an adult? No. Cancel my Nitro. I've never paid for Nitro. Yeah, people have been like, just post Norman Reedus. They're like, open your mouth, and then just have him in the game open his mouth. Had a free trial. You know, every time Discord has offered a free trial for Nitro, if it requires like me to enter any payment info, I don't do it. Because it's like, oh, you can get 3 months free, and then I'm like, oh, that's cool, and then I click on it, and it's like, oh, actually you have to enter like your credit card info. I'm not going to charge you until 3 months, but you know, you can cancel. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Whatever you're offering is not worth it. Even if it is free. The only time I ever had Discord Nitro was when they had it free, where you didn't have to redeem anything. You didn't have to like put in your save data. Sorry, your credit card data. They just gave it to you for like a week. They're gonna put a disclaimer on your profile saying this user is a minor. No. Welcome Penguin Airlines, not worth it. Yeah, there's nothing. It's like the only thing I get is like animated emotes, and I don't feel like I need to use animated emotes. I know you get like higher voice quality or whatever, but like that never really mattered to me. If it's free, why do they need the payment info? Because they're banking on people not canceling. I feel like most subscription services get a lot of money from people who like intend to cancel but did not actually do it. So they're like, oh, if you're gonna put in your credit card info, maybe you'll forget, and then you're like, oh, whatever, it's only like $5. That's how they get so much money. It's messed up. But anyway, Discord. Just because I said that Discord. This chord right here, we're gonna go from C. Okay, so in this chord, we have F, A, and C. So maybe we go, okay, maybe you don't start from C. Maybe you actually start from A, and then you go, maybe you could go up to B, and then end on C. Hope they'll change their minds. I guess it depends on like what the restrictions are. Like if they mark you as a teenager, like what does that really mean for me? I'm okay with Discord because they're one of the few services that actually lets you immediately delete your payment info and still keep the free trial. Yeah, I know there's like a bunch of other sites that do that as well, but I just never felt like I needed to, you know? I'm like, well, if I'm gonna like enter my payment and then cancel immediately, I don't even want it. You either give it to me for free entirely with no effort from my part, or I'm not taking it. Anyway, what does this sound like so far? Okay, well that's something. Surely we could add more to it than this. Welcome to my... See, this is a problem that I run into. If I start off a song and I don't start at the first note, the next one I'm like, oh, maybe I need to like, you know, I need to keep that going. And then like the fact that I have this here sounds weird, right? You expect this to start at the same place, right? It doesn't this sound weird? Or maybe it's fine. Maybe it's actually fine. Or what if I had it here? Maybe that's better. Maybe this is good. Maybe you also repeat B. Maybe it's A, B, B, C. Oh, but B is not a main note in the chord. So maybe you go A, C, B. And then you go back down to A. Wait, isn't this the tune from Harry Potter? Do 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 do. No, we can't be doing that stuff. Maybe we go, okay, so we're in the F chord. So maybe you go, well, really we should be playing an F somewhere here. So maybe it goes up. Maybe actually you start off at F. So you make a big jump from C to F, and then gradually go back down. D, and then C. C is right here. That sounds weird. Hold on. Where's the contour? It goes E, D, it goes back down, and then up. That is a bit strange. Maybe this should end. It should be going up the whole time. It goes E, drops down slightly to E, sorry, to D, goes back up to E, and then F. But then it goes back down. So it's like, what am I doing? That sounds alright. Maybe that's alright. And then what if it continue going back down to A? And then the next phrase, maybe then in the next phrase you simply copy the rhythm from the first one, or maybe with some more stuff. Maybe you have this, you have like another note here. So it's going to be like, what chord are we? We're in the 6th chord, which is A. You want an A, and A is right there. You have this, and then what? And then you have A again, and then this goes up. So, it was like A B. Would it be A B C? Is that too boring? A B C. Sure. Let's do A B C. And then E. What about A B C E? You might expect A B C D, but actually it's A B C E. Well, anyway. What if we didn't have this? What if the C is here? Is that good? It sounds alright maybe. But I feel like maybe going from here to here. Maybe it's fine. It feels a bit abrupt. But actually it's probably fine. Kept the surprise and then followed it up. Which surprise? This one? Down. Alright, so we have a basic 4-bar thing. Now I just have to learn how to make music longer. I always just have these short ones. And now we need longer music. We need to expand this into something that is good. Some kind of good song. But I could lengthen this. Could add a kill right here. And then what? What does it sound like if we cut off the notes right here? It's a bit abrupt. Maybe we don't have the kill note. Okay, how do we continue this? What do we do next? We could continue the same chord progression. We could vary it up. How often do people vary it up? I guess people often, they don't just have 4 chords for the whole song. We could go from this and then maybe we could do like a different one. Or maybe we do the same one for the next 4 bars and then after that we switch it up. Right, so let's take this, repeat the same chord with another melody. That's what I was thinking that. But then we could after that switch it up. But would I be copying this again? I could copy these first 2. Because, like, you know, we've only really heard it 3 times. 2 times, really. Or we could even, like, we could vary it by using the same interval of note, but with a different rhythm. So we have C, C, E, D. Well, we could do that again. C, C, E, D. Here. But it's like different. C, C, E, D. And then you could add a kill here after 3. Maybe that's too much. Maybe you do one of these. Just vary it up. What strange rhythm? We've added some strange rhythms in here. And then after this, the notes that we had up here, we have E, E, D, E. E, E, D, E. And do I want to copy this though? E, E, D. And then we could vary up this one. But the one after this, it could do the same thing. It could use a similar thing as phrase 7. We got A, A, B, C. So A, A, B, C. Oh, it could go up. It could go up again. Oh wait, or maybe, oh, maybe we could do that. This one could be A in the lower octave. But then in the third phrase in this 4-bar measure, or whatever it's called, this 4-bar thing. Wait, it should be here. We could go up an octave. Try just messing around on a physical piano keyboard. No, but then I would need to get a physical, real keyboard. That's too much. Also, I guess you could just have silence, you know? A lot of people, they're like, you gotta always fill in notes. You could also just have silence. It's possible. That is a possibility as well. But maybe we don't do that. A, A, B, C. A, B, C. Okay. What do we do for this one? We could go up an octave. So let's see. We had up here, we had this F, E, D, C, A. So we could have F, E, and then the D could be an octave above, and then it goes down. Is that too far up now? It goes from, it would need to go from this A back down to this A, which I feel like is a lot. Maybe we don't. Maybe this A can go up. No, it's too big of a jump. How do people do octave jumps in a way that sounds good? E5. So E, D, E. So it's going down. Maybe you continue going down. Maybe actually you could even go an octave below. What about that? What if I did that? That sounds weird. Anyway. Does this work as a melody? Seems alright. It's got the same notes, and then maybe in the next 4-bar thing, that's when we start varying it up. But with the same chord progression. Okay, so Now that we've established this, all you gotta do is do something similar but different. So we gotta remember, we got E. We got E. So C, we're in chord 1. So you start with C. You don't have to. Maybe we don't start with C. What if we went to E? Actually, what did we end on in the previous one? C. Welcome, Clarabelle. E. Okay, it could be E. And then maybe just a long E note. And then it could go D, C. Although maybe you don't want to end on a chord tone. You want to leave it as a different tone so that the next phrase could answer it. So maybe you go from E. What if you skip down to, no, it goes C and then B. What does this sound like? Oh, that sounds good. That sounds pretty good. And then maybe this one. The next one, we got B, E, G, E, G. We could give this B could have a delay here. So you hold this note, and then maybe you continue with B. Maybe from B, you can go, hold on, so we're going down. E is going down to B. So maybe we either continue going down or we go up. Maybe we go to a new low. This could be the lowest part of the song. Bagel? What if we had bagel? Beige. Ooh. Anyway, I'm gonna drink some water. Twitch is about to show some ads. So you can listen to this while I hydrate. Alright, I've done it. Or maybe, okay, so this one, we don't end on a chord tone. Maybe we continue to not end on a chord tone. And then it leaves the listener being like, when are they going to resolve? When are they going to resolve this tone, this ambiguity, this question answer? Yes. So now we're all the way down here in an octave we have never been this far down in. And then the next one you hit them with the different, maybe you continue this rhythm. So we're at D right now, so we're gonna go, actually, okay, I like how it just stops there. Yeah, okay, maybe you continue, maybe just like a really long note. You don't always need to have, you know, notes. You could have notes that don't play. Alright, so this one, we are now down here, and now, what's after D? So D, we could go even farther down, but maybe we don't do that. maybe now we start going up. We start going back up, maybe to F. Although actually, hold on, we go down here, and then you do a sudden big jump back up to F4. And then what? After you make a big jump, you gotta start going back down though. So you're gonna go back down to E, D. Then you're fed up. You're F-E-D, you're fed, you're literally fed. And then what? And then after you've been fed, then you have some cake. Good old cake. Although we do eventually need to end up back at the octave that we were at before. So maybe after this goes down, then we start going back up. Okay, so from here, we're at D. You start rising. You start rising up. So we have A, E. So maybe you go from D to E, F. Maybe you make a jump from E to G. And then G goes into A. And then oh, we did a small jump. D, we skipped over F. We go to D, E, G, A. Maybe we just go to F. What did I just do? Alright, so then after G, where do we want to end this off at? We start off at E5, so we need to eventually get back up to around there. So maybe what we can do, we go back down to F, and then from F, then you do a big jump. Do a big jump up to... Is that too big of a jump? What does that sound like? Let's listen to the whole thing. No, not a fan. I feel like this has got too much stuff going on. Maybe we gotta have less stuff going on here. This jump is too big though. How do you make good jumps? Maybe you go from D, E, D, E, F, and then what? And then it doesn't sound good. What if it goes down to C? I do feel like this four bar thing is like too different. There's not enough like similarity between these phrases. But maybe that's fine, because like sometimes songs, they just have a bridge like this that doesn't really repeat that often. But it's also, it's like too different, you know? It's like way too different. Now, okay, so this part does have some similarities to this first part. So we could maybe, if we put a note here, it could be a similar kind of thing. So how does this go? This goes E, D, C, B. So this is going straight down. And this one, C, E, D. So this is going, it's going up and then down. But then... I don't know about this. Making music is hard. Alright, this E is an entire octave up. What if it was like this? Maybe you don't have this. Anyway, that's something, right? We got something, and then from there, maybe we go back to the original 4 bars. Maybe. But then what? No, I feel like I'm not a big fan of this. This entire section, this feels a bit strange. It just feels a bit strange to me. What if we had less of this stuff? Sometimes less is more. So this is going down, it goes down to A, and then it makes a jump up to E. And then it stays at E. Maybe it should jump up to F and then go down to E. So this one does resolve on a chord tone. The previous two did not. So this one does not resolve on chord tone. This one also doesn't. This one also doesn't. And then the listener's like, when are they gonna resolve this? But then it's like, this is an octave above. Which is a bit strange. What if this was up? What if we jumped up here? Really makes you think. Really causes you to ponder. What is life? What if we add some drums? And what if have I considered adding drums? Let's do that. Just for fun. And we have a hi-hat in here. And then what if we had... No. His drum beat doesn't really go with the song. But it's something. Anyway, I think I do have to redo this one though. This just doesn't sound right. Something about this. It's just weird. Anyone composing music recently? What's the deal with the music? Whoop. Gotta have this nice background to look at. I do feel like, okay, so the contour for this section is a lot of, it's like going down. It's like going all the way down. Goes down to B, goes down even farther. And then here, at this point, I feel like maybe we should stop going down. Maybe that's the thing. It's got like, it's too much going down. It's going F, E, C. A little song for Winter Chip? What is that? Is that like a fantasy console of music? E, D, C, B. B, A, G. Okay, so this is like, it's going down, and then it continues to go down. So maybe here, maybe after this one, we need to start going up. So we got E, 5. And we have here this one. Oh, we have F. We have F, so maybe it goes up to F. Noodle around on the piano. How do you like choose? how do you like, I don't know, structure your songs? They do a big competition for each season. Winter is all chiptune related formats. Spring is more general electronic music. Oh, okay. So I thought Winter Chip was like you know when they have like the different chips that you can make music for, like the Yamaha whatever, the Game Boy, the NES. I thought that was a specific chip, but no, it's a name of an event, musical events of some sort. This goes B-A-G. And then maybe we can continue at G. Yummy, yummy. Alright, maybe after this G is when it goes up. This sounds weird. Oh. I feel this F. Isn't there a thing? Hold on. C. Usually you don't want to play the fourth, right? In your chord, the fourth. Wait, A, B, C, D. I guess D would be the fourth in this one. Hold on. I mean, you could play it, but usually it sounds not as good. What do we have? We have G. G is not even part of this chord. What are we doing with these notes? So F. F is in the chord. And then A and C. So we have C. C is here. I feel like many of the notes in this part are not even chord tones. D, E, C. I don't know. What's wrong with this part of the song? It just seems... Okay, what if I stick to the formula? I just copy this rhythm for this part. So we can go from B, and then this could be, we skip some notes here. And then we do A, G, bag, B, B, E, G. So this could be age, beige. Okay, what notes we have? A, C, E. Maybe this one can go down to C. Okay, I kind of like this DEC. Play DEC again. That's something. That's got some sort of thing. What if we did a 12.5% pulse? And then where do we go with the song? I guess we'll just make a new one. And then maybe we start changing the chords, because you know we've had this chord enough, okay? We've listened to this enough. So maybe we switch to, what about this jazz chord? 2-5-1? That seems advanced, actually. It's one of the most commonly used chord progressions in jazz music. Common yet captivating progression. The 1-5-6-4. I guess we could do this one. Just for like one measure. For one 4-bar thing. Welcome Zoe. Sounds good, Joker. Did you change the capitalization of your name? Wasn't the Z capital? Am I misremembering? No? Oh. Maybe this is from a long time ago. Years ago. Or was it, or is it, hold on. Is it on Twitter that your username is uppercase Z? 1, 3. Yes, okay, that's, that's what it was. The Z was capitalized forever ago. No, I think it's because I put your art on this week's schedule. And I had that as an uppercase Z. Because that is your Twitter, that's your Twitter username. I see, that's why I was confused. I started playing chords that are close to each other, sound interesting, and then in the melody you just kind of think of what would sound nice. At the end of the chord, create a connection to the next one. Pro tips out here. I will think about it. Alright, so this one. Let's see, do I want to do another chord? Helps a lot to be able to play on a real instrument, because you can try different things instantly. Man. I say use whatever chords you want. There are no rules, no gods, no masters. No, what am I without the rules? No. Okay, let's make some new stuff, okay? Some new things. So let's see, we already have a 1 chord, like this. So what's the ordering? This one, we were at 1, 1, 3. Oh, but this is a major chord. How can you have a major 4 and 6? How did they do that? Did I misunderstand? If I want to learn the rules, look at the chord progressions of Bach, chorales, the Golden Chorale. Bach progressions. Harmonic analysis of J.S. Bach. 9 Bach chord progressions. He's one of the greatest composers, one of the GOATs. Why don't they put the number? Why would they not put the Roman numerals? You're telling me I have to like remember what key they're in? Unbelievable. Alright, they do tell you. Bach, Bocce _ channel. I could also just make my own chord progression, because I know the rules. You want to like go. You want to eventually start off with 1, and then you go to something that isn't 1, obviously. But then you want to end on maybe like a 4 or 5 for a perfect cadence or a playable cadence, so that you go back to 1. That's the playable or perfect cadence. And then like in between, you can just do whatever. Don't make huge jumps with all the notes in the chord. Yes. For sure. Welcome, Choco Jax. Choco, I finished watching your Outer Wilds playthrough. Or sorry, the DLC specifically. I watched. I was like, I gotta know how she played this. It was good. Why are these playing out of order? Oh, because I only have one. Okay, I only have one thing here. Glad you enjoyed. Thank you. It was spooky. Quite spooky. Alright, so we have a 1. Phrase 0. Phrase 0. is our one chord. And then do we have a 5? Well, let me just duplicate this. Duplicate tab. Whoa, what the heck? What the heck was that? See that? That sounds good. I don't know what I just did, but that sounds pretty good. What is playing this? Okay, I mean this part doesn't sound good. Instrument 0. What did I do? Oh, I changed this to 0 as well for some reason. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, I meant to change this to 0. Wait, what? Oh wait, this should be, oh no. I was changing the wrong thing. Guys, I was simply changing the wrong thing. I wanted to do this. Alright, so this one, what chord progression do we want? You can have 1, 1, 5, 6, 4, 1564, classic year 1564. Now we can reuse this one. This one is number 03. And then 4 was actually, wait, 4 was 02. We just need a new one for this. Okay, so we're at 15. So this one is going to be a 5. I did not enjoy Harado Rock's playthrough. I can't believe this. While I was watching the playthrough, I saw myself in the chat. I was like, whoa, I was there. I remember when you were playing it, I was like, I can't watch this because I'm gonna be spoiled. So I would leave one comment and then just not watch. And then when I was watching, I was like, well, she greeted me. I was there. I was there for this, but I was not paying attention. That's cool. I was watching because of spoilers. I was not watching. I just stopped by for like 1 second to post an emote and then I closed the tab. Alright, so we got chord 5. Chord 5, as you all know, is C, D, E, F, G. It's G. As you'll all know from the circle of fifths, it's G, C, G. And then G, we got A, G, we got B and D. So B, we can start with B from the previous B, and then we can go up to D, and then B, the next one, and then back down to D3. Yes. Of course, of course. Wait, this seems kind of like a big jump. B, maybe, was this supposed to be G? This is supposed to be G in the previous octave. Welcome, Wed. Is this D supposed to be the previous octave? What have I done? That sounds weird. G, so G is this octave, and then Maybe this, wait, this B, maybe this D needs to be above. Why does this sound weird? Is G going to B? But like, oh, this B, wait, this B should be, but I had this B. Should this have been B1? This D is D2. Okay, that sounds better, I think. Does it though? Does it sound better? It does. This B is a B, G. Alright, now we make a new part of the song. But it can't be too different from the rest of the song though. That's the thing. Otherwise, this might as well be its own song. So what are we doing here? Maybe we go back to this original rhythm. C, C, E, D. What if we just go back to C, C, E, D? Let's see, so this is here. C is in this chord, so we can do C, C, E, D. And then the next one. Next chord is chord 5. So 5 is G. Maybe we go up. Maybe C, E, F. And then G. And then after G, we have G, B, and D. Maybe go up to B, G, A, B. No, they should be going down. It sounds good. It does sound good. I was like, it doesn't, but apparently it does. When it goes up. Alright, well, I'll trust you then, because you know music. And okay, so then after this, and then when it goes up, you have to stay up for a while, and then resolve. So GAB, and then GAB. We can go up to C. We can go up to C. D. G, A, B, C, D. C6. D. And then it goes down. Okay. So then it should go down, because now it has hit the highest note it has ever hit. This song has never gone up to D6 before. Then how do I go back? Then maybe you start going back down from C. Sure. B6. And then you can go down to A, which is in the chord. And then from A, you could also go back down to F, which is definitely in the chord. And then you can pass through G on the way there. C, D, G, B. Like G from the previous octave, C, D, G, B. Sorry, C, D, C, I read that wrong. C, D, C. Oh my god. I read that wrong for some reason. For some reason I read that C as a G. That works fine. The G or this? This works? Okay. Maybe you could space this out. Maybe this F could be here. Sometimes people put F sharps in here. That's a thing, right? What does that sound like with an F sharp? No. No, it doesn't work. Well, sometimes it does. Sometimes it does work. Alright, so we're all the way up here at F5. I guess we've been at F5 before. This is a normal occurrence. I guess I could put this F here, because this would repeat the same kind of rhythm as the previous phrase. Yeah, I think that sounds a bit better. And then what? Now what? Now what do I do? I guess we do another set of 4 using the same kind of the same chord progression. But will it resemble this one? Perhaps it will. I guess I am doing the thing where like we skipped one quarter note and then we just like the rest of it has just been just been this. I thought the F sounded better when it was close to the others. Make it sound like it's part of the AGF part. This. And this. I feel like I like it better here. Sure. Alright. Why did it skip phrase 16? It went straight from here to there. That G is basically bridging the gap between A and F. It's not good to hold. True, it is a passing note, you're right. I guess I did the same thing with this D though. Although I guess the D, this D isn't like the end of the 4-bar melody. So ending on this is fine. It's like a question that you want to be resolved. And then it goes to the C. Alright, well anyway, next part. This part here. Anyway, okay, so a thing that I was saying earlier though is that we've been skipping this first quarter note for the entire bar. Have we been doing that for the previous one as well? No. No. Okay, maybe for this next one, we go back. Let's start off here. Alright, so the previous one we were at F5. F5, you could go to E. E is in the chord. And then E could go down, perhaps, to C. But not like this. Maybe that's it for this one. Just a long C note being held. And then after this, maybe you go to, what is it? C, you got E, C, and then you can go to B. B is in the chord. B, and then you could go back up to D, but pass through C. Oh, wait, that sounds nice. Whatever that was, it sounds nice. Oh, and then we could do similar kind of thing, but like, so this is going up B, C, D. This one could go, let's see, so we're at D. You can go from C, you could go up to E. E is part of this. E, C, D, E. And then E, D, C. What does this sound like? Oh, yo, we're going somewhere. Although we could, hold on. So if we're ending on C, we could, it's like, could end on something that's not part of the chord to make it a question. So it could go down to B. It could go down to B4. Okay, but maybe here. A, B. What about this? And then it goes to A. Goes to A, and then it can go back up to C. A, C, and then it can go to F at some point. Maybe go C, D, E, F. What does this sound like? That sounds pretty good, I think. Sounds alright. It does feel a bit weird ending on the F though. Like I know it is a chord tone, but I feel like you want to resolve back down to C eventually, right? Maybe is this fine? Is the question. What does this sound like? No. It's like to end on an F, which is so far from the tonic of C. It's weird. It's a bit weird. Strange. I mean, you could just go down to F, or go down to C, actually. We didn't need to go up to F. C, D, E, C. We don't have F anywhere here. We could. So we have A, C, D, E, C. Oh, maybe it's fine. Maybe this is fine. And then what though? And then we do another. Don't have to always end on one. But like, doesn't it sound better when it does though? Yes, it doesn't. It doesn't have to. So like here, instead of ending, if we go to C, if we go to F, great. Alright, doesn't the F feel like it wants to go somewhere though? Feels weird. Ending on 4 or 5 is common. Also, even if you do want to end on 1, the actual note in the melody you end on isn't that important. I see. Let's see. F, in this case. I guess our chord is... So let's see. I guess that is the root of our chord. 4, right? C, D, E, F. Yeah. I guess. Is that true? Are we in 4 right now? F, yeah, F, A, C. Alright, well, this next section, though. The next section. The next one. Maybe we should go back to the original. This. We're only in this 1, 5, 6, 4 for two of these things. Now it's time to go back. It's time to go back to this one. The harmonious balance. It did sound better ending on C. That's what I was saying. I was saying this. I thought so. Yeah. It's like the F is like too high. It's just hanging. It's just hanging out there. Like, what is it doing up there? Well, anyway. So the next one. We could after this we could go back to maybe we like combine this section. The rhythms we had in this section, we need to somehow unite them with the original rhythms that we had. Because we have strayed pretty far from this. Right, because like the latest one sounded like this. So now we go back to something resembling this one. So we got a rest, quarter, 2/8 notes, and then this weird thing. We don't have to be in C. We could, okay, what did we end at? We ended at C. So here we could go perhaps C, C, G. An arpeggiated set of notes. There was another thing here. This could go C, E, G, F. Or maybe C, E, G, A. Because the next one goes to B. Yes. And then B. B, E, G. You could go back down. You can go B, G, E. And then could be another E, maybe. Where we're trying to go. We're trying to go to A or F. I guess E does connect us to F. What does this part sound like? Okay, that sounds alright. Whatever I was doing there sounds alright. Okay, and then this next part. We go to F, right? We were at E, then we go to F. So F, maybe we start that off here. And then we go to A and C, perhaps. So B, G, E. This is going up, though. I'm going up from C, E, G, and then up to A. And going back down to E. And then it goes up to F. And then from F, do we continue to go up? Continue to go up. Maybe go from G. And then B, C. Maybe we do V. Maybe B, C. That's too many notes. Could also go down. It does jump down quite far. I mean, this F could also be below. What does this sound like? No, it's too big of a jump. What rhythm did I have at the beginning here? So we had quarter, eighth notes, and then quarter notes. So quarter, eighth notes, and then quarter. Alright, so let's see. This thing, this part here. So this is going up. It's going up to the F. And then maybe from F you can go. I would like to hit A and C. Although we are up pretty high. F. Maybe you drop down from D. Or maybe, okay, maybe F, E, D, C. Yes. Sure. And then you do the same rhythm. Anyway, Twitch is gonna run some ads, so I'm gonna drink some water. Alright, I've hydrated. What about, let's listen to this again. And then what? And then we want C, A, E. So we were at C. We can go back to C again. C, A, E. C. Maybe. C down to A. You can't just do C, A, E directly. That's a big jump. What if you went back to C? Maybe we want to keep the intervals from the original thing we had here. So this was like 2 of the same note and then going up slightly. 2 of the same note. Then going up slightly does end at D. That does work. It does work. Anyway, we got some stuff playing. And I'm not doing anything with the second pulse channel. I gotta figure out what to do there. And maybe that's when it starts sounding good. Okay, it sounds alright right now. But what if it sounded better? What if we use 50%? I could also use a shorter envelope. No, I don't know. Let me save this. What do I save this as? What do I name this? Word generator. Random word. Contempt. Fiction. Fiction. Story. Coat. Camp. Throw. Ghostwriter, underline, beer, bathtub, lineage, fossil. Do any of these words sound like this song? Manual, peel, when the imposter is sus. Constitutional. Distance. What about distance? Can we name this one distance? What is that? Oh, maybe this one you're like traveling far from home. This is distance. You're on the road. Yeah, that's it. Distance. Sure. Drag one on the road. Alright. Yeah, traveling song. Out there traveling on the road. Alright, what do I do with channel 2 though? So we have this. We have our classic ostinato. We have our drum beat. We have our main melody. What the heck do I do here? Harmony. What kind of harmonization techniques? What do I do? Ways. What to do? What to do in chiptune channel 2. Chiptune. Long notes, harmonizing with the melody. Oh, I could. Maybe I will. Alright, so this one ended at 1D. So we want to do 1E. Okay, so harmonization. Also do short rhythmic notes to add texture. Flesh out the chord. Short rhythmic notes. I guess we do have some like empty spaces here that we could put like a counter melody. Like this note is held pretty long. Some of these, especially like this one, this note's held pretty long. I put some stuff in there. Various possibilities. Alright, so we want to maybe, let's see, we got C here. What, so we would just, for harmonization, would we just play something else that's in the chord? Or what? An octave lower. Or do we just play C an octave lower? What does that sound like? C4. C4 instrument 4. Different instrument. What does this sound like? No, it's too loud. You can't just play C. It's gotta be... What about an E? Ooh! You hear that? Wait. Do 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 do. That's a thing. Oh wait, that's that's what's come after. That is the part that comes after. It could even be an octave above. You could have short notes. This could be a short instrument. What if it was this? We got E, and then E, and go with G. And then G, we got D, D would go with F. That's something, but then you could also... What about F sharp? No. No. What if... Alright, I mean, that's something. And then, this one could be similar. I don't know. Let's see, you got this one, you got that one. Welcome, Brooke. And then, and then, E, G, A, and then F, G, this would be A, so A, wait, E, F, no, this actually would be G, and then this. You could also omit some notes. You could have nothing here. Surely, there's a way to make this more interesting, though. We could add some single channel echo. That's a thing. You guys hear about single channel echo? Let's do that. So let's see. So this E. Let's make a new instrument. Instrument 5. This is 8-6, so this is going to be 8-3. So we simply, whenever this plays, we can wait 3 notes and then repeat the same note. Maybe that's too distracting, actually. No, that's too distracting. Well, we can use it in some parts, right? I think because the notes are too long, maybe. I don't know if this sounds good. This could also be up an octave higher. I don't know if that sounds good. What if this was an octave lower? And then this, we would have G, we would have F, 1, 2, be here. I don't know. Something. It certainly is something. It's maybe a bit distracting. We got F, we have oh wait, I think the echoes are usually lower volume. Forgot about that. That's an important thing to consider, is that they're not as loud. And then this one, this. Sure, that's something. Do E, and then C. All right. Then you do a similar thing. You got C, another C, D, E. And then you do this one, and that one, and this one. I feel like maybe I could also change the first instrument to this. Maybe this. Well, and then we do a similar thing. I don't know how I feel about this. The echo, it is interesting. It does add some depth to the song. Like physically, like it sounds like it's deep, like in a cave or something. But is it really what I'm going for this song? I don't know. It's music. Music. It's literally music. What if? What if instead of doing that, if we had perhaps, we just got this out of, get that out of here. What if we did something totally different? New instrument. We're gonna do maybe something like like this. That part sounded good. Which one? The part that I just put by accident or the echoes? I was doing the long thing under the triplets going down. The long thing. The part where it was playing a long note. When I had it. Was it when I was adjusting this? Hold up, but let's try. What if we had this? What if it was like this? It would have been the long notes under the second half. The second half of the song. No, this one is a bit distracting. Rhythmic Cs sound good too if you put them in the other parts according to key. I feel the issue with the rhythmic C though is that we kind of have an ostinato, which is kind of doing a similar sort of repetitive sort of thing. Maybe it's fine. Because it's not really like a harmony. We have like sort of like a backing sort of thing. Where it was doing the long thing under the triplets. Is this it? We have this part. We have this part. Alright, so this E instrument 4. And E and then F. And this would be G. And then this is F. Oh, but you can't do the echoes here because now these are triplets. Or what? These aren't triplets. What are these? What is this called? Whatever this is. Wait, these are triplets, right? One. No, they're different. Different. Could have the echo for this one though. What did we have in the previous one? This one ended with an E. Let's see, so this E has gotta be here. It's gotta be. Triplets are when you have 3 notes quickly together, taking up a beat near the end of the song. And would a beat be a quarter note? Is that what a beat is? So like if you had, oh right, yes. Yeah, you would have to use delay for that. Right. True. Triplets can be anywhere, just 3 notes within a beat. It's true. It's true. It's actually so true. Alright, I'm just gonna continue this echo thing. Because I don't know what else to do. So we got E, it's gonna be G, G, and then F, and then G. And then do this one. Welcome, Probs Not Jack. Sure. We don't have to repeat the echoes throughout the entire song. It could just be in certain sections. So this here. And then this, the G, and then we have F, E, C. If only there was a better way to do this. Imagine manually having to do echoes, that's crazy. It's too much. Okay. Welcome, cow friend. And this. Actually, it's probably easier if I just do this. I just did this, and then did this. And then did this. And then that. Alright, so we have echoes going throughout these first two parts. And then nothing. I feel like that last one was an octave higher, which sounds actually alright. Yeah, I went up an octave. Which is maybe good to do sometimes. True, true. What if I did the same thing here? What if this one was an octave above? Yes. Okay, then what do we do with this section? We could continue the echoes, or we could do something different entirely. I guess this section does have a lot more like long held notes. We could consider adding a counter melody, maybe like in here. It's a possibility. Alright, so we got this, and this, and this, and this. Okay, so we got these parts are empty. We could put something in here. Maybe, perhaps, what's our chord? We're in the E, C, G. E, C, G. What if we went C, E, G? What if we put in a little one of these? What is this sound like? Yes. That is in fact something. Or what if it was instead this? What if it was an octave below? End credit vibes? Maybe. Could be. And then here we got E, B, E, G. E, G, B. Let's go down. G, or B, B, G. Actually, that's too far down. B, B, G, E, B. G, E, B. Or B, G, E. What am I doing? I don't know the letters. B, G, E. Actually, no, B, G, B also sounded alright. What does B, G, E sound like? That also sounds alright. What if this started E an octave up? What if this one was G an octave up? And then we do a similar thing here. So this would be F. It could go up. It could go let's see, this would be F, A, C. Oh wait, but this is C an octave above. That's too high up. This would be C from the previous octave. It should be maybe C5. C5, C4. So this is like going down. No, this is going up. It's weird. It's going up. Wait, hold on. Should this have been G3? C. And then this. This is actually an octave above. If we're going up, it would be FAC5. And then we got A, C, E. So this would be E, this would be A, and then it would be this. That sounds alright. Then what? It's not really a counter melody though, is it? It's kind of just an arpeggio. Kind of just an arpeggio that's playing. And maybe that's fine. Or what if I did the echo? What if instead of being this, it was the echo? We did G 3 5 C C4 5 E 4 5 and then G4 5. And then same thing. E5, B4, G4, E4. Yes. This one and this one. And this one, same thing. This is an A. It's an A, and then this is a C, and this is an E. All right. Well, that is something. So we have a different sort of accompaniment between these two. Sorry, between this one, I mean. Between these two and this one. I think I could also raise the volume of this one. It's a bit quiet. Alright, now this part. What do we do with this part? This part, we could do something, add some kind of thing. Or maybe we do an arpeggio, but it's like longer. Instead of being concentrated at the beginning, maybe we do one here, every quarter note maybe. Some quarter note slow arpeggios. I don't know. Alright, so this one. We got E. And then, so E, C, G. It could be, what is the order here? It's C, E, and G. So G from the previous octave. And then C, E, G. You could also repeat it, I guess. There's nothing stopping us from playing the same note twice like this. Which I guess is sort of what the echo effect was doing. I guess this is pretty much another echo. Maybe a shorter echo. Welcome, old man diabetes. I don't know about this one. What if? What if... Okay, so this is playing notes going up. What if we did the same notes, but going down? What if we started from F? We could do like... like a muffin? What if the... Okay, so what if we had here... F... F... and then what? And then it goes E, C. That's a thing you can do in counter melodies, is to have it go the opposite direction. And then maybe we put in D here. It sounds cool. Okay, do the same thing here. B-A-G. Get that bag. B-A-G. And then this one, CDC. Well, this one is symmetrical. What about DCD? No, what if this one was maybe for those parts with the triplets, you can have it do an inverted triplet. An inverted for this one. This thing, or this thing, or this thing. An invert? You mean like? What do you mean? A CDE? If I did like, do you mean this part? This part here? Just like I did in the last part. So do this. But here, do this thing, but down here. Is that what you meant? B-A-G, bag. To invert it. Invert this. When you have that part doing EDC, the main melody, you do a little triplet going up in the second instrument. Ah, this. This. Yes. Okay, so maybe what is our chord here? A-C-E. Like this. Right. I could do, okay, so we did this. And maybe down here we go in reverse. Go backwards. So this one is F. Not the place out, oh, okay. I could also do it here. And then here it could go down. This could be, so this is F, A, C. So this could be C, A, F. What about cafe? What if we made it a cafe? No, we don't need the E there. Hard to specify what part of the song, since this UI is weird, doesn't show the whole song. True, it is quite confusing. You're like, where is he? What is he doing? Alright, well that's something. And then we could add the echo effect. You know, classic echo that we had earlier. On the different instrument. We copy this one, paste it there. Do this one. B5 A5 G5. Alright, what does this sound like? Okay, so we have that, and then we have this. We got this thing. We have no harmonies going for this part. Although it is time for me to end the stream, so I guess I'll figure this part out off stream. I think that was pretty productive. I think this is my fullest song that I've ever done so far. It's got the ostinatos, it's got a drum beat, it's got a main melody that isn't just like repeating the same thing for every 5 seconds. It's got like a little bit of harmony. It's got stuff going on. Let's save it. Save. Teaching yourself composition and Game Boy sequencers, doing it on extreme hard mode compared to something more visual. Maybe, but I feel like I prefer this for some reason. It's like when I have to like put stuff on a piano roll, it's like, oh, now I have to like click this, I have to like drag it up. If I want to move stuff, I have to like highlight everything, drag it over. This one, I'm just like, you just do it. You could just do it. But yeah. Anyway, that's it. So I will finish this off stream, but I will also be probably posting a link to Wolfie's Nonogram's beta version that you could try. Okay, you could try this, perhaps. And then you can be like, Wolfie, there's a bug. I noticed that if you do this, it breaks. It's not out yet. It is a restricted page, but I will post a link to it with a password protected entry. You could play it. You could play it. You could play it on your real Game Boy if you wanted, if you have one. Anyway, let me check if the files have synchronized over. Yes. Okay. It's time to end the stream. Let's find out what day it is. Let's rate someone. Clean out your computer. Pizza day. Chocolate day. Bagel and lox day. Poop day. Pizza pie day. Sick of food waste day. Pizza. They do pizza day. National Pizza Day raid. You can probably post that with the pizza emoji, perhaps. Alright, who's streaming? Who shall I send you over to today? Let's see. Which of these individuals? What about alright, this person. Sure. Let's raid youthnet/raid. This channel is intended for mature audiences. If you are not mature, you can leave. You could instead not be here. Anyway, that's gonna be it. I should be back on Wednesday with something or other. Some kind of thing. Some sort of game, perhaps, or maybe more music. Who knows? It could be one of many things. And by many things, I mean not really many things, because I don't really do that many things anymore. Wolfie Wednesday featuring picross. You all can play picross. I'm gonna play Wolfie's picross, and you'll be like, Wolfie, this level is too hard. You have too many levels that have ones. There are too many ones. Too many small numbers. And I'll be like, well, I did it, and it was fine. I solved it. You could solve it. Anyway. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.